Good evening, everyone. What's going on? Game week 11 is over, and it's knee-jerk reaction for game week 12. We are here now. Let's go through it all, and I'm sure everyone will join us as soon as possible in the FPL KNEEJERK family. I just want to say best of luck to everyone who played this week. I hope it all went well for you guys, and we've got lots to discuss today. Wow, there were some blockbuster results this weekend, some real massive performances that we've had. And we've got a lot to discuss, right? Players who've outperformed, who we didn't expect to do it as well, players who we have kind of backed a bit too much at the moment. We'll go through all of that, but I want to go through some questions as well. How has it been for me? Honestly, it's been so refreshing after a while to do so well. So fingers crossed. The scores are to be updated. I've tried to go on the live FPL website as well, but for some reason I think it's still updating, so there's a bit of an error on the website. But we'll keep a lookout for that as well. But let's go and have a chat with you guys, go through some questions, and I hope you guys all had a very safe weekend. First, we've got Shaggy in the house. Hello, hello. How are you, buddy? I hope you're well and you've had a good weekend. What did you get, Shaggy? Let me know. Ali, good evening, Ali. How are you? I hope you're well. Hoxton, good evening. What's up? I'm good, man. I hope you're well. FPL Cameron in the house, 64 points. Massive shout out. Well done, buddy. Well done. Massive shout out to you. So far I've got 67. So I've kind of worked out a bit that I think Alexander-Arnold may get me 2 points from what I was seeing. Potentially Rafinha might get me 3, I think. He might be joint top scorer for that game against Leicester for him. So it's still got to refresh and stuff. So I think potentially we're looking at about 72 points. With the average at the moment, I think it should go up to about 40 plus, maybe, I think. Around 40 points. And I think that's pretty decent for me. Coming up from about 2.95 million rank. I think around 2.3 at the moment. I managed to get some good points from this game. So I think potentially just around the 2 mil mark. Pretty content with that. I've improved my rank by 33%, but we've got a lot to discuss, guys. Got a lot to get through. Ali says 67 mil, you beat me by 1. Thank you so much. Honestly, 66 is fantastic. Ali Maria, Aubameyang nearly captain would have been a -2. Yeah, he missed a penalty, right? I didn't watch the Arsenal game today. I was at that point I was busy watching the T20 World Cup, but I did catch the Liverpool game, by the way, so that was a really phenomenal football game. We've got lots to discuss in that as well. FPL Cameron, thoughts on Jesus for that Everton fixture and City's good run of fixtures? FPL Cameron, to be fair, I mean, from Man City personally, for me, I'm looking at more of a defensive aspect, right? So if you're looking at it from my perspective, I've gone through the defensive route, so I've taken Edison, Diaz, and Cancelo. From a forward perspective, one thing I can definitely kind of explain to you is the fact that if you're going to go for a City forward, you need to make sure you have a good bench replacement. Now, what do I mean by that? That doesn't mean like a 4.5 million striker, maybe potentially like a 6.5 million, someone like a Tony or a 5.8 mil Hwang. So you've got someone who's covered there, because the issue is going to be the rotation. You're not entirely sure who's going to play when and how. But for me personally, if I was looking at the striker force for Man City specifically, I've watched Bernardo Silva in the last couple of weeks. I've been quite impressed by him, to be brutally honest. But again, the risk of rotation is the big risk for me. But Bernardo Silva does look on point, and he played again really well against Manchester United. But Jesus again, fantastic form. Ivan Toney and Vardy, oh my God. Well, to be fair, the strikers generally have been quite disappointing. This season as a whole. I mean, let's say, for example, when we started off this season, we found out Ronaldo was coming to Manchester United. We found out Lukaku was coming to Chelsea. We were like, oh, let's just rip our teams apart. So many managers got rid of Salah. So many managers downgraded their midfield, played wildcards, got those two up front. Some people went for the big four, so Trent, Salah, Lukaku, Ronaldo, and kind of like shifted the balance of their squad, which again, I don't think in the long run has worked. But again, it's again like, even the medium range strikers, I think what you need to bank on is someone like, a Wilson, a Hwang, Ivan Toney will come good. He's on penalties. You got Jimenez. I just think the strike forces aren't really they're not as fruitful so far. Antonio played well today. Very unlucky not to get a goal. He had a big part to play in the Kurt Zouma goal. So again, it was not a bad performance by him. Very unlucky. Had a good chance, scuffed the goal shot that he had. So again, we just got to be a bit patient with him. What my plans are regarding, forwards, I'm going to stick with Wilson for now. God forbid if there is an injury, then I've got Hwang as someone who I've lined up. I really like him. I could look at potentially, Iheanacho if I want to. That's something that I can look around as well. But Antonio, again, Calvert-Lewin is someone I'm looking at the moment. But we'll have to wait and see what the fixtures and injuries say. But again, it's been a mixed kind of a week. There's going to be a lot of knee-jerks this week. I'm going to go through some top players that I've seen. And I'm potentially going to be knee-jerking as well. So we've got a lot to discuss, guys. But let's go through some questions. Yukefa, good evening. Absolute plain seeing Foster on the bench with 11 points and starting Sanchez with -1. Honestly, the amount of messages I've got for that specifically, because I kid you not, if I had Foster and Sanchez, who were my initial goalkeepers, I definitely would have played Sanchez against Newcastle, seriously, and that is quite painful, very, very painful. Right, guys, what we're getting in, I'm going to take a sip of water. If you're new around here and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button, and if you haven't liked the video, there's no time like now to hit that like button, please. Mick, good evening, Mick. Mick Summers says, I can never ever get anything out of Vardy. Vardy's just, I think it's just a bit of patience, buddy. I'm not going to lose patience with him because I think it's just a bit too much of a knee jerk. We're going to back him. Let's back him now because he will come good. He will come good. I think it's just a bit of a lean patch for Leicester. He's just a goal away from another good spell, but it's quite disappointing when you have a striker with a budget over 10 mil, and you got players elsewhere like someone like an Aubameyang. Yes, he missed a penalty, but he has been scoring recently, and there are strikers out there which potentially are doing better for far less in terms of price. But look, if you made a plan around him, stick with him for now. But if you feel like you want to move away from your plan, then I completely understand your decision for that. Shaggy Mel got 64 points in total. I calculated with Trent, Rafinha and White bonus as a result of 62 points. Let's hope the average could be more if Mane scored that late header. Oh my God, that late header, literally as soon as it got crossed in, Shaggy, I literally thought of you straight away. If he scores here, wow, that would have been a nice couple of points because he would have got the 3 bonus points for the match winner. So that would have been really, really good. Shaggy and Chelsea didn't concede. They did not. And they did concede, yeah. Turkish says, Yoma, I hope you're having a good day. Finished with 62 points and Tony captain. If I went with Reece James, I would have had 70, but oh well, it happens. Congrats on your good game week. Thank you, Turkish, appreciate it. Buddy, 62 is not bad. There's still a lot of bonuses to come through. I'm pretty certain people around the 60 mark will be close to 70. So fingers crossed. Stay alert. But generally, guys, what were your thoughts about this weekend? My strategy for the Man City defence paid off. I wasn't happy, but don't get me wrong, I'm a United fan. Never want to lose the derby. But it's something that I generally, if you watch my videos and you guys were part of my live streams, I predicted it. I told you exactly what was going to happen, and word per word that happened in the game. Not a single shot. We had more shots against De Gea than we had against Edison, so my clean sheet was pretty safe. The only one save I can remember was from Ronaldo in the first half, or the second half I think it was, where he just shot and he was offside anyway. But otherwise, it was a disastrous performance. But United haven't kept a clean sheet. Stay away from any of their defenders. Man United assets generally, Greenwood, Ronaldo. Do you really want to put that much eggs in that basket? Jota played pretty well today, to be fair. So in absence of Firmino, is that someone you're looking at the moment? Could be a good shout. But we'll talk about more players as we'll take some more questions now. We'll discuss some more players as we go along. Who would have thought Norwich would have kept 1-2-0 this week, right? Ali, it's only that my strikers I can't seem to get right. Wilson was unlucky with Sanchez, brought him down. Honestly, Wilson, why didn't he just stay on his feet? I know he got clipped, but the guy is an open goal, man. Like, score it. Just didn't make sense. Quite disappointed. But again, hey, it's part of the game, right? We just got to take it as it comes. Adil, good evening. Vardy to Kane for a hit. Again, boss, I haven't seen the Spurs game today, right? But it was a 0-0. Now, I don't know whether that was a good 0-0 and Spurs were unlucky not to score. But it's nothing. There's nothing shouting out to me to say take hits to get those guys in. Again, that's your choice if you want to. If it's a long-term plan, so for let's say at least 4 weeks you're going to keep Kane, do it. If it's just going to be a knee-jerk, you're going to be after next week going, oh my God, why have I got Kane in? Then maybe not taking a hit is wise. But generally, if you want to keep him for a couple of weeks, I'd say they've got 3 or 4 game weeks now, which look really good on paper. If they can really show up and get the points, not a bad move, boss. But Vardy's not done too bad this season, so I know he's had a couple of blank weeks, but again, is it worth it? That's again your choice. Are you going to back him? If you do make the choice and you take the hit, you just got to back him for 4 weeks. Harry, good evening. Hope you're well. FPL Cameron, what would you do with Havertz? I personally don't have him, but to be fair, at the moment, he's not a bad shot. He got a goal, I think, on the weekend as well. And without Lukaku, he's pretty much the focal point up front. So I would keep Havertz. If you're taking the effort or you're taking hits to bring him in, then definitely keep Havertz for now. I would. The player I'm looking at from Chelsea, who I'm looking to potentially knee-jerk, is Reece James. So he was phenomenal. I watched Match of the Day last night. I watched the game. The guy easily could have had about 4 assists in that game. He was putting the ball on an absolute, literally on the forehead for it to be directed in. Thiago Silva. Who else is? I think it's Christensen. Literally, they could have scored from headers. But Reece James is there or thereabouts. He likes to get forward. I've seen him make forward runs. Very attacking. Good return in terms of clean sheet. I know they didn't keep one yesterday against Burnley, which was a surprise for me, by the way. But I'm really looking at Reece James. The only thing with Reece James I would say is if you're looking to have Reece James in your squad, you need to be aware of the fact that there could be a risk of rotation at some point in the season. Not right now. But as we get closer into the multiple competitions, Champions League, FA Cup, etc., 2 or 3 games a week, there could be a chance he gets rested. So you need to make sure that your other 2 defenders on the bench, if you're playing a 4 at the back, for example, you need 1. If you're playing 3 at the back like myself, we need at least 2 defenders where we know that, God forbid, if anyone gets rested or benched, there is someone to come on and replace them, because around that Christmas period, you don't want to end up with no one on the bench who comes on for minutes, and you end up with a couple of game weeks where only 5 or 6 players of your team actually play due to the rotation of squad. So if you keep that in mind, don't want to overcommit to your defence. If you're looking to bring him in, please make sure you have someone like a Livramento or someone like a Ben White, or Benjamin White, I should say, on the bench to cover you if needed be during the rotation period. FPL Cameron says Reguilon looks a crazy good option, but just no way of getting him into my team. I mean, in terms of that, FPL Cameron, it always depends on what sacrifices you have to make. I mean, yes, they got a clean sheet today. Tottenham haven't been as good defensively this season, or pretty much the most of last season. So I'll take a moment to understand, is that what you're going to persist with? Who would you take out for him anyway? What are you looking at? Are there any options you're looking to free up funds? Let me know what your thoughts are. Hoxton, good evening. Nice score, mate. Thank you. It was due, to be honest. Honestly, 4 weeks, man. I hope this luck continues. As you say, over the international break, 3-4 weeks, I was down, man. I was getting absolutely slaughtered. You will not believe this, right? I'll tell you the story. I was getting slaughtered last night on Insta and other social media. I was getting private messages where people were calling me lucky so-and-so, fill in the blanks as much as you want. They were abusive. And they were saying, oh, you think you get lucky, you think you're an expert, you got City defenders in there. And I was just thinking, guys, honestly, on a level, this is my thought process, this is my team. And I live by the sword, I die by it. I've died more often than I've lived by it, to be fair. But it was just hilarious. I thought, guys, I can't please you. If I go wrong, you guys slaughter me. If I do well, I get slaughtered. But I'm happy with 67, man. I've improved my ranking. And all those people, who like to have a dig at me, personal messages as well, who say, you call yourself a content creator at 3 million. Do you know what? You get good weeks, you get bad weeks. I ain't no expert. I'm just a normal player like you guys. We go through conversations and we're a family, man. That's how it's meant to be. But otherwise, it was hilarious. I was getting absolutely slaughtered for just those 3 defenders and obviously Edison from Man City. But thanks you, Hoxton. Shaggy, instead of Sanchez for 3 game weeks, I've got Krul in goal. And this game week, he got me 4 points, that's a differential. He is, honestly. Krul got 4 points. He did concede, but man made some unreal saves as well. Hoxton, FPL Cameron, Reggie was okay, but Spurs was terrible. If that was the case, and I will watch the highlights later on Match of the Day. I'm not looking forward to that 0-0. I won't be surprised if it's the last game on Match of the Day tonight. Turkish, this week was good for me, but unlucky as well. Reece James, 2 crosses hit the woodwork. Foden hits the woodwork. Tony disallowed assist. Honestly, it's margins. I feel sorry for all those Mbembo owners for this season. I think he's hit the post the most out of every player in the FPL. The Premier League. So it hurts, man. Fine margins, fine margins. But yeah, Foden was very unlucky. I saw that game. Right, guys, if you guys haven't liked the video, please give us a like. And if you guys haven't subscribed to FPL Inklink, please take the moment now and join the FPL Inklink family by subscribing. Aman, hey Mo. I'm like you with no Brentford players. They are very underwhelming against Norwich. To be fair, buddy, it was a difficult game to start. The fact that they conceded inside like 2 or 3 minutes, I think that was what it was. I think I went to make a cup of tea. And I had all the game scores up live on my TV. So I was following it on TV. And basically within 2 minutes, bang, Norwich score. And I was thinking, oh, whoever has a Brentford defender, good luck. Like Rico Henry or their goalkeeper. Obviously the replacement goalkeeper for Raya. They just can never get in the game. I think Mbembo did score, right? I think he scored it. It was disallowed for offside, so it wasn't a lucky game. Look, Brentford, they started well. Now the challenge comes is where they need to pick themselves up. I know they've got some really good fixtures coming up, guys. But what you need to remember, at the end of the day, is what return you can get from those players. Can you get similar returns from another player? Like for me, don't get me wrong. At the moment, based on form, if I look at Tony, yes, he's on penalties, but I look at Hwang. Personally, as a manager, I'd rather have Hwang. That's just my choice. That's not the right or wrong answer. Look, Hwang can next week blank, get dropped, not play. Tony could get you 12 points. It's just a prediction. It's just my gut feeling. That I just think generally, I think Brentford players at the moment, for what you're investing in them, there are alternative better players out there. That's just my thought process. But yeah, unlucky for those guys because Norwich, I thought there'd be a good shout for you to get in and really get a good score. Assad, 63 points with Cancelo on the bench. Ooh. So you were one of those 230-odd thousand managers that put Cancelo on the bench. Ouch. But don't worry, Assad, man. It happens. It happens to the best of us. I think last week my bench points was like 14 out of the 4 players. It happens, bro. So don't get too depleted. Just back your moves. It will all make up for itself. Adil Ali says, do I have any moves planned? I do indeed. So at the moment, I'm quite disengaged or disheartened by Townsend at the moment. He hasn't really picked up the game since I brought him in. So let's show you guys. So I brought him in after the Manchester United game, but I brought him in for Demarai Gray. But Demarai Gray hasn't really done much since that game either. So in 4 game weeks, he's got me 2, 4, 6, 9 points. Not ideal. No returns whatsoever. So potentially the only move I'm looking at is I could take a -4 to take him out. Bring in Brownhill, and then take out, let me show you, Ben White. As you can see, he's on my bench. Bring on Ben White, and I could bring in, sorry, give me a second. Take out Ben White, and I could bring in Reece James. That is the aim. So I could then go 4-3-3. So Edison, Diaz, Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo. Sorry, the screen might have gone a bit awkward there. Cool. Sorry, there's a bit of a jarring in the internet. So the back would be Edison, Diaz, Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, plus Reece James. In my midfield, it'd be Salah, Rafinha, Zaha. Take out Townsend. So 4-3. And my 3 strikers will be Wilson, Vardy, Antonio. So that's the kind of plan I'm looking at potentially over the international break. Again, it's a -4 hit, and Leicester play Chelsea after the international break. So I've then got Livramento on the bench, who covers as a defender. I've got Brownhill, who's a cheap midfielder, so he covers that as well. And Gilmour is the only thing that I'm looking at the moment. So then the long-term plan for me could be to get rid of Rafinha, bring in Ben Rama, and upgrade Gilmour to Douglas Luiz or something. That's just a general position. I might not even worry about Gilmour. I don't really need to worry about my 15th player as much. But that's the long-term plan. So we'll have a think about that later. But that's just my general consensus at the moment. George, good evening. 67 points. Smashed it. Ottawa, good evening. Mbembo's just not clinical. He's had a lot of chances, but he's just hit the post or the bar. Hoxton Moat, I had Tony and Mbembo. Ooh. Don't worry, bro. If you backed them, they got good fixtures coming up as well. So I'd say stick with them. Hopefully, the international break will bring him a change of luck. Ali McGregor, a few manager sackings this week, but no Ollie. Man, how did Dean Smith get sacked in Villa? Dean Smith! The guy's doing incredible. I don't know what Ollie has to do. Ollie could get relegated and still be manager of Man United. Ottawa, Gallagher, Trossard, Rafinha is the place to be for budget midfielder. Gallagher, 11 points. How did Zaha not get a bonus point? Guy scores one of the 2 goals and he gets 0 bonus points. Don't understand that. I guess the guy or the algorithm that was predicting like bonus points and stuff didn't have Zaha in their team. George says, Mo, you said that Triple City defence would pay off one day. It did. It paid off today. Ottawa, who got sacked other than Nuno? Dean Smith, Aston Villa, Ottawa. John K, good evening. I'm good. How are you? Linesh, hi. How are you? 53 points this game. Dropped down to 180k. Honestly, still done fabulous. Don't worry about Linesh. Give it 2 weeks. Some luck will come our way. And you'll be back and firing after the international break. Let's just refresh the screen. Let's see if there's been any updates to my points. 605. So I've got to 2.1 mil. That's not bad. 800,000 places I've gone up this game week. I'll take that. Guys, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and like the video if you like the content. Ali Smith at Villa, Farker, yeah, no, Farker as well at Norwich, and just United left now. Ottawa, I'm on 61 points this week. My attacking 3 have gone on vacation scoring wise. Honestly, they all have. Hardly any strikers have scored. George, Mo, it wouldn't have been bad week to bench boost, eh? I don't know. I still think there'll be better weeks to bench boost, bro. With the weeks that come up with the double, like, you know, the double game weeks, much more fruitful, trust me. I know where you're coming from, but it's just too much of a risk. I'd rather wait for a double game week, personally. Hoxton, 61, nice. Ottawa, yeah, Arsenal and Southampton got the clean sheets, but they were favourites for, of course. Turkish, I'm thinking to get Mane instead of Mount. Liverpool have a good run of fixtures, Mo, and if you want, you can check and maybe say if Mane is a good option. Yeah, let's have a look. I mean, Mane's always... Look, regardless of the option of fixtures, right, I think Mane still is incredible overall. Arsenal, Southampton, Everton, Wolves, Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham, Leeds. Yeah, there's some really good fixtures for Liverpool there. Honestly, even if there weren't good fixtures, I still think overall, Mane's a good player. Mane, Bruno Fernandes, they're worth 12 mil, but they're great players. I'll tell you one player I was thinking about this week. Raheem Sterling. A couple of years ago, I couldn't have thought I was making my team based on him. He was that good. Got like 250 odd points in the season. There's nowhere to be seen. Raheem Sterling, the star of England in the Euros, is not even playing for Man City. Turkish, a star. Nice. George, to be fair, Dean Smith did lose 5 in a row. But still unfair sacking. Of course, man. You can lose 5 in a row. He still kept him in the Premier League. And he's the only manager to beat Liverpool 7-2 currently. John K, you've done well with the Zaha pick. I thought he was a bit of a meme player. Good Mo, bad week, 49 points. Dropped out of the top 100k. Tempted to use wildcard. But really don't know if I should. I mean, to be fair, thank you for the Zaha pick. Honestly, I think Zaha's a decent player. And I thought I had a good vibe about him, right? It could have gone completely wrong. But honestly, dropping out, you just got 49, which is 38 is the average, by the way, from what I can see on the screen when I've refreshed it. Obviously, it would change more. Still 11 points over average. Not bad at top 100k. It's decent. Don't be too hard on yourself, John. I would do anything to be in your position. Almost anything, not everything. Assad, Vardy to Kane or Ronaldo? Based on the current fixtures, I'd go Kane, and then Ronaldo after game week 16. Ali says, Shaggy, stay away from Mane. He is his and his only. Hoxton, as you're a United fan, what do you think of Ollie? I'm thinking Ronaldo is soon, to be honest, due to... Yeah, game week 16, Ronaldo should be... Ollie, my view is simple, buddy. I don't rate him as a manager. He shouldn't be Manchester United manager, and he should have been sacked a very, very long time ago. Conte should have been at United. He's not there now. He's gone to Tottenham. Zidane it is. Get him out, man. Get him out. KXNG Stun. Congrats on the bounce back. You deserve all the points this week. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your kind comments, guys. Thank you so, so much. Yeah, finally got some green arrows. Right, guys, if you're new around here and you guys haven't liked and subscribed yet, please take the moment to like and subscribe to FPL Inkling. Lanesh says, yeah, Raheem was one of the maestros 2-3 years ago for City. He was, honestly, he was absolutely incredible. And I think for a short period, he was taking penalties as well until he skied that one to like the stands or something. John K, thanks, mate. You did real good with the Zaha pick. Thanks, bro. Honestly, massive shout out. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes it's just an inner feeling that comes out, and I had a feeling about Zaha, do you know that? Because he does turn up for some big games. Very lucky, he scored a goal as well, which was offside. Very tight, by the way, very, very tight. Given offside, if that had been given, ooh, could have been double points there. Turkish, I was thinking of Son, Mo, like you said before, Mo, but I'm not interested anymore. I feel like Spurs are not playing that good. And to be honest, Mane had good 2 chances today, the header and the left foot shot. Personally, again, it's all about form as well. I think there's a lot that Spurs need to adapt. And the thing is, the winning mentality is very difficult to come after a club that's gone through a real tough time. Look, next game week, I should say. Son and Kane could go absolutely mad. But based on what I'm hearing today from you guys, I haven't watched the game personally, but it's a 0-0. I don't know. For me to jump onto Son or Kane, I need to watch them for at least 2 or 3 games where they absolutely kill it. But that means by that time I might lose out on them. But I'm willing to take that risk because I haven't seen that from them to take the risk to bring them in. So that's my thoughts at the moment. I can tell you're buzzing, Mo. Honestly, at that time, I was so dejected. 4 weeks in a row. Oh, game week 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, finally some respite. But it's nice, man, because I went all the way from 1.3 mil down to 2.9 mil this week. And I've got myself around about the 2.1 million mark again, which doesn't sound great, but going up 800,000, it's a nice feeling. I haven't had that feeling in a while. But the thing is, like, what it is with this is, it's a bit of long-term planning. Like, I need to be patient. Next game week, I might only get like 20 points. But again, like, it's just being patient with it. I can see a plan of mine. Potentially at the moment, I'm looking to get Reece James in because I get most of the questions I get around is why I don't go for Chelsea defenders, and I really kicked myself. Last night watching Match of the Day was not easy with Reece James going absolutely mad. So Reece James, guys, is my top pick to look out for over the international break. Try to get him in early because he's 5.9. I think with the transfers in, his price might go up to 6 mil quite soon. Ali, John K, maybe a good week to use your wildcard, especially with international break. Of course, I would say personally, go for it now. If you're going to use it, try it now. Try avoiding price rises, and if there are any injuries near the end, then you can always update it. That's just the biggest tip I can give you. Because sometimes I've had people leave it till lastminute.com, and there's like 3 players that go like, price rises, and then you just can't afford the moves that you wanted to do. That's quite painful. So try it that way, and then obviously make the adjustments on a daily basis because you can't get any deductions or points or anything like that. So it's all good. All good. Assad says up to 98k. Smashed it, Assad. Well done. Massive shout out. Thumbs up. But that Cancelo bench hurts. Assad, don't worry. Trust me, bro. It will. There'll be a point in the season, right, where you'll bench a player, someone in your starting lineup won't play, and that bench player will come on and give you big points. So the law of averages, it will balance out. Don't worry. But great ranking there, by the way. 98k, smashed it. George, Mo, great job. You've done brilliantly. However, I made up 300k. Nice. I'm on 650,000. Come on now, George. Next target, top 500k, yeah? Slowly but surely, we'll get you to the top. Hoxton, Mo, I can't believe Man U let Conte go literally a week ago. Oh, I kind of think now, I wish we'd lost to that Spurs game. No one should ever say their team should lose. That 3-0 cost us, man. Malik, good evening. Thank you. John K, the strikers are really bad this season, apart from Antonio. They're not really doing well. I might drop Kane as he's still looking uninterested. Hopefully all green arrows from you as of now. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, John. The thing about Kane is, right, I don't understand about him. He looks disinterested, but is he really going to get to Chelsea? Sorry, is he really going to go to Man City next season based on this? Unless he's planning a Newcastle move, I don't know. Is he going for the money? We don't know. It's been horrible. It's been horrible. I haven't seen today's game. I'm basing it upon what I'm hearing and the score, 0-0. Ottawa says, yeah, Chilwell or James, got to have one of them. Yeah, honestly. Then I can basically, what I can do, Ottawa, is cover all bases. Then I can have, obviously, City. I've got 3 of them, goalkeeper included. I've got Alexander-Arnold cover Liverpool, attacking returns as well. And then I've got James, who can cover Chelsea, which is good because attacking returns as well. So I'm looking in a good space. I'm looking okay. Turkish, you deserve this good game week, my man. It's only going up from here. Reece James will be a perfect fit for you, and you're considering getting out of Townsend. I'm getting in Gallagher or someone else. Nice, nice. Thank you, Turkish. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's been 4 long weeks, I tell you now. It's four long weeks. But the funny thing is, I've only had 1 game week, which was last week. The whole season is where I was below average, and that was about 7 points down. 7 points, yeah. So I've not done too bad. I just think everyone's just done so well. Car race skills, hey. Good evening, I hope you're well. Thank you for joining. Ottawa 3-4-5-3. I had Cancelo last season, but then Pep started rotating, which is the only reason I'm a bit weary this time round. I think the only thing like which goes in his favour at the moment, Ottawa, is the fact that Mendy, obviously for whatever reasons he's not available for selection, is not here this season. I don't think he's trusted Zinchenko that much. And Cancelo's been on mad form this season. But I do understand your risk of rotation. That will come in play in December, I assure you. That's what I'm saying. 2 defenders on the bench. If you're going for Reece James Cancelo equivalent, you need to have 2 defenders to cover those during risk and rotation policy. John says, sorry, I will pop that wild card. The only problem is I do sell Kane and upgrade my team. But that means put all the money and be used elsewhere if Kane is using a wild card. I think it's John. Do you want to? If you have a gut feeling to back Kane, keep him. If you feel like this is the end of the road and you want to change your plan or planning, you know what to do. Hit that. There's no need to rush it. Think about your strategy. What I want you to understand is if you're going to play a wild card and you want to completely take Kane out, then don't kick yourself if Kane goes more in the next 5 games. That is literally law of averages, all right? But whoever you select, just back it. But just take your time. There's no need to rush it if you don't want to. But if you want to back Kane, fully back him. But honestly, the form is not very helpful from him at all. And then John says he won't be able to bring in CR7 or Lukaku if they do come good. Again, that's another thing to consider. But try thinking, John, if you can make like a wild card where that still could be an option, we can consider it, right? But otherwise, just take it easy. And play it if you feel like you've hit the end now where you want to activate it. That's all I'd say. Hoxton says, Mo, who do you really think United will get? There's no one. I don't know, Simeone, I'm wishful, Zidane. There's no one left. Dean Smith, Daniel Farker. I don't know, it's no one left, man. No decent manager left out there. Pochettino's gone to Paris, Saint-Germain. I don't know, man. But Ollie needs to go. Ollie out. Honestly, Ollie out. I'm saying it again and again. I've said it for about 6 weeks. I don't care if he wins 6-0 next game, but Ollie out, please. Mahesh, how are you? I'm good, brother. How are you? I'm good. I'm very well, thank you. I hope you're well and you've had a good game week. And that you've been well this weekend, and so is your family. Turkish, Mo, my last comment was a question to you. Oh, sorry. Did I miss it? Oh, sorry, buddy. I missed that completely. You deserved all the... So, if I take out Townsend, Turkish, I'm looking to get in Brownhill to get the funds for Reece James. Then my formation will completely change. I'll go 4-3-3. So, 4 defenders, add Reece James to my defence, take out Townsend, leave the 3 midfielders and 3 strikers as they are, and Brownhill will go on my bench. So that's how it's looking. Gallagher, I'm looking at, because I got Zaha, I don't really want to double up on Crystal Palace. It's just too much investment. But otherwise, Turkish, that's the move. So sorry, I completely overlooked that. My bad. It's the excitement. I've done well for once. Linesh, somehow there'll be another time where the Inklink family will play bench boost and we'll be up there. Of course. Don't worry, man. We'll get there. Trust me. The Inklink family will come up. Don't play the bench boost yet. Most of the people who are in the top, like, you know, million, I'd say, have played at least one or two chips already out of the 3. Obviously, which gives them a comparative advantage because they've played Salah in some weeks where they've got like 70 odd points. Understandable. But we still got the chip up our sleeve. They're watching us, but we're right behind them. We'll get them, guys. We'll get them. Lineage says, I can sense it coming and it will be ecstatic. Of course, of course. George, well, it's only up from here. It's only up from here. Brilliant Zaha decision. Unlucky not to get some bonus points. Phenomenal to have a big green arrow before the international. Honestly, it's a nice 2 weeks, isn't it? My last international arrow, I was down 400,000 and I was like, oh. It's a bad feeling, but it's a nice feeling though. It's nice. Let's see if I refresh it again. Let's see. Let's have a look. Has it updated? It has gone to 73. So ranking is 2.148. Game week average points is 38. The highest points was 110. And I got 73. So double the average. I'll take that. Not bad. Not bad. So who got the points? 3 for Alexander-Arnold and 3 for Rafinha. 6 points. Not bad. Not bad. Game week rank, I was in the top 76,000. Well, 76,254. I'll take that. Not bad whatsoever. So if you guys want to refresh your pages, you'll probably see your updated points now, guys. Linesh, and we'll be part of it. Yep, of course, of course. Ottawa, Trent looks like he's getting 3 bonus points, so you're actually at 70 now, Mo. Nice, thanks. Thanks, Ottawa. You got it spot on. Ottawa got 3 points, so 73. You got it spot on, Ottawa. Smashed it. Thank you. Mahad Jama, sell Vardy for Kane. Again, it depends if you want to back the decision. Based on what I've seen at the moment, Vardy has Chelsea next game week, and Kane obviously starts his better fixtures. So for me personally, I haven't seen much for Kane to be brought in. If you're going to bring in Kane, I'm not going to say yes or no, but firstly, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't bring him in. But if you are going to bring him in, back him for those 4 good fixtures. If he does blank next game week, just keep backing him. Don't regret it. And then obviously, if you don't like the way he's playing, change him to Ronaldo in game week 16. Steve. Good evening, Steve. Missed the start of the 30 minutes behind. Congrats on this week. You deserve the good week after some risk you've taken. Shocker for me. Like you said, ripped team apart from Rom up front, costing me massively. Thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate your kind words. Honestly, it's about time I got some good luck. But yeah, I mean, Romelu Lukaku, Ronaldo, it's been difficult. Especially myself, because I've been there where I made my whole team around them. It backfired. So look, again, you need to rip your team up. Do it slowly. I took a big hit at 16 points, and it's taken. I still haven't recouped it. I haven't still got back to the 1.9 mil. So I was at 1.9 mil when I took that massive 16-point hit, and I'm still 200,000 down 4 weeks on. So again, it depends on what you think and what you want to play. If you've still got a wild card left, but if I put it in a real nice way, I don't think I see myself going back to Lukaku, Kane, or Ronaldo this season. I'm being serious. I'm not even overacting this. At the moment, obviously things can change, but at the moment, I don't see myself going back to any 3 of them because I have to rip my squad up, which I don't really think I want to do. So that's my opinion. But if you have the funds in your squad, feel free to. I've gone defence heavy this year because attack, I've gone for 1 premium striker, which I think Vardy. He will come good. There will be another period where he goes about 8 games where he goes absolutely mad, and then there'll be another period where he has 8 games where he goes absolutely quiet. I just have to ride it. But at the moment, there's no clinical striker standing out there where I think I want them. So that's why I think Kane is a tricky one. If you're going to go from Kane, I'll say that to everyone. If you're going to pick Kane, back him for 4 weeks. If you don't want to back him for 4 weeks and you've got your player there, save your transfer. Right, guys, whilst you're here, if you guys haven't liked the video, please give us a like. And if you haven't subscribed to FPL Inklink, please join the FPL Inklink family and hit that subscribe button. Mahesh, my game week was okay. I got 58 points. I'll take that, of course. That's 20 points above average, Mahesh. Smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. Well done, buddy. Ottawa, if you update now, you'll get the bonuses. I did indeed. Thank you, Ottawa. Honestly, once I wrote your messages, it came through. I think the points are updated, but the rankings aren't. Really? So look, let me look on my phone. Let's have a look at the rankings. Okay, let's have a look at the live FPL. Right, let's have a look. I'll check on the live FPL page, see what it says. Have a look. Yes, you're right. You're right. So my new rank, basically based on the screen on there, what you can see is 2.148405. After everything, all post, the subs, everything, it's going to be 2038338. So I have gone up exactly 900. So I was at 2.938, 900,000 in terms of rank. So you are right. It hasn't updated here. It will be updated very, very soon. So I have confirmed that from the live FPL page. Tabo, good evening. I could have done a better week if Kane and Son returned. Honestly, just back them. Just back them. Look, it's a bad game week, right? You've got a new manager in. I think the international break will do these guys good. They'll go away from the scene. They'll be with the international teams. When they come back, they'll kind of regroup. I just hope Brazil don't mess me over again because I've got 2 Brazilian players. But I've got the cover on the bench, so I'm all right. But I need Edison and Rafinha in my squad. But I'm thinking I might take out Rafinha for Ben Rama soon. I might, but Rafinha's played well in the last 2 games. We'll have to see. After the Chelsea game, Vardy has 3 easy fixtures in the next 4. Yeah, so he has some decent fixtures, and he can score against Chelsea. Of course he can. He's scored in some real big games before, and he's a big match player. Big match player. So you are sticking with him, so am I, Artur. It makes 2 of us. Devon says, you know what I mean? Hoxton, Mo, I love how you're doing your rank and keeping it real. Lots of people play this game different. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Look, there's no need to hide your rank, guys. Look, it's a 38 game week season. Now, next game week, I could get 38 points and the average maybe 50 points, and I might go down to 2.5 mil. It can change in a game. In 1 week, it can change in 1 game week. But what I want to understand is what the long-term plan is. My long-term plan, I'll tell you how. This is the whole season start. So if you're new around here and you haven't seen the videos before, I'll give you guys a breakdown. So I went for a challenger where I wanted 2 strikers and I wanted Kane at City. So I planned my start of the season. I went 5-3-2. So 5 defenders at the back. I had 2 forwards. I had Bamford and Kane, and I brought in Kane where I was thinking, I'll bring in Kane because he'll go to City because it was City versus Spurs first game, and I thought the transfer would be done and XYZ. That messed up my whole plan. My whole team was based around that. Then I had to rejig my whole squad. Ronaldo then came in. I took some hits. I then rejigged my whole squad and moved away from the 5 defender theory. And then Ronaldo and Lukaku got injured. Then I had to basically rip it up again and took a 16-point hit. But now I've got a clear plan. Now I'm thinking a bit more straightforward. I'm thinking of keeping players for a while. So Edison's going to be here for a while. Diaz, Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo going to be here for a while. Reece James, I'm considering. He'll be there for a while. Salah hasn't moved all season. Rafinha hasn't moved all season. Townsend came in for Gray. He'll be gone. Zaha's going to stay for a while. Wilson, injury permitting, fingers crossed, he stays fit. He'll be there. Vardy, Antonio might go out in a couple of game weeks for Calvert-Lewin. Now, that's my thought process. So I'm not looking at too many transfers at the moment. I might take a hit next week to bring in Reece James because I really want Reece James to look into my forward plans. But otherwise, there's no real major hits I want to take. And slowly but surely, my aim was before the international break to get into the top 2 mil. I'm 38,000 off that. I'll take that, considering I started off 2.9 mil this week, 2 days ago. But my aim now in the next 4 game weeks is to get as close to the top mil as possible. And then we'll reevaluate and then reevaluate and reevaluate. So it's a 4-week chunk I'm taking it at a time. And that's the plan basically. But otherwise I've moved away from the irrational decisions because I've got a stable team now, I reckon. But I did get a lot of stick for 3 defenders and Zaha. Honestly, I've taken a lot. A lot of people challenged me for Antonio. Look, Antonio didn't pay off this week, but he played really well. If you watch the game and the highlights, he's played well. And this is what makes me different, Hoxton, as well. Is the fact that, look, there are a lot of content creators out there who think similarly. Most of their squads are pretty much identical. Most of their wild cards are pretty much identical. I'm not naming anyone. But it gets a bit boring. Think yourself. Most of the content creators, if you watch them very carefully, there's only like one player, if that. Even their bench is pretty much identical. Just be original. Play yourself, man. Because the thing is, and a lot of people watch those contents and they take ideas from there, which is rightfully so. They should. I think it's a bit boring because if you have like 10 creators doing the same thing, then everyone's going to follow the same. This is why I believe that if it changes up a bit at the top, that whole ranking system will change. So believe in FPL Inklink. Just be yourself. Don't copy me. I ain't the best. Just play your own game. It makes it so much more enjoyable because you back your own decisions. Now, last week, I can tell you, 2 weeks in a row, City conceded. I lost my clean sheet bonus up, well, points, 4 points per player. It hurt me. This week, it hurt me that Manchester United lost, don't get me wrong. I've taken a 0-0, but got the reward for my risk. It does pay off. You just got to be patient, guys. I think one thing I do like about my family here, or you as my family who are my subscribers or my regular viewers who come on and speak to me and engage with me, is you all have your own ideas, and you're also you all have a valid reason of why you're thinking specific things and why you want to think around this kind of process. Because look, we've talked about Manny already, we've talked about Gallagher, we've talked about Lukaku going out, we've talked about not having Cancelo in. There's a lot of different processes that we're thinking about, and this is what makes us so much better because we can think about what we need to do. We're talking about Harry Kane, Son, but it's not just like, one person leads it. That's what I like about this family. Sometimes you guys mention something which then gives me an idea, and I'm thinking, geez. Now, I'll be honest with you, yesterday, I watched Match of the Day for one specific reason. One specific reason, I wanted to watch the Chelsea defence. I haven't watched Chelsea live for a long time, and I didn't watch them live yesterday. But I wanted to watch the highlights to see how they are defensively and what the hype is around all these defenders. Because you guys always rightfully point me in the right direction. You guys are like, why no Chelsea defenders? And it got through to me. And I thought, you know what? I need to listen to you guys because you guys clearly have seen something that I haven't. And I really appreciated you guys pointing me in the right direction. I want to watch the game. I've watched Reece James. And I'm telling you now, I'm convinced I'm getting him in. He will be in my squad. Because I think he's just so good and I can't go without a Chelsea defender. And that's thanks to you guys. I ain't no expert. You guys are sharing your wisdom with me. And that's how this family's growing, guys. So I want to thank everyone who's on here, who's not watching, who's going to watch this later. Personally, from me to everyone, thank you for your comments. And thank you sometimes for, pushing me in the right direction. Because sometimes I don't see things. But thank you, everyone. Ottawa says, yeah, I'm not touching Lukaku, Ronaldo and Kane either before they start clicking. No need, honestly, no need. Just be patient, let them hit a bit of form, then get them in. Linesh, I'm thinking that Ronaldo, Kane or Lukaku is a good hold-up in attack for price point, but one transfer, no hits. But there's so many gains in defence right now, all from defender gems. Honestly, even Livramento, I think he's like 4.5 mil, and he's got 4 out of 5 clean sheets in the last 5 games. Bargain. More points than all the forwards, right? Mahesh says, actually 62 now. Nice. I'm really disappointed in Mbemba and Tony, man. What is up with Brentford? They conceded 2 goals, poor play. Do you know what? Mbemba had a goal ruled off for offside. Offside? Offside. Offside. What's that all about? Offside. Like a tongue twister. But yeah, I mean, unlucky. But I think, Mbemba will come good and so will Tony. So just keep patience with him. Personally, I wouldn't go down the Brentford route. I said that a couple of weeks ago. But if you have backed them, guys, just back them. They'll be back. They'll score. Hoxton, nice move. Thank you. Thank you. Turkish Bowen is the one I'm going for instead of Rafinha soon. Bowen is decent. He got an assist today or a goal, I think. Can't remember exactly. But yeah, he was really good. Ottawa, I think it's time to transfer Rafinha out before Game Week 16 where Leeds play Chelsea. West Ham fixtures get better too. So it's a good time to get Benrahma, Fornells and Bowen or whoever you like. 100%. But I think a lot of people will be looking at like Fornells this week or Bowen because they scored and assisted. So that's something that they can look at. Guys, just taking a bit of a breather. If you guys haven't liked the video, give us a like. If you haven't subscribed and joined the FPL Inklink family, please give us a subscribe. Unless there's a problem with self-isolation for Brazilian players, honestly, I'm just not looking forward to that. I'll read about that in a week. I don't want to stress about it for 2 weeks, right? Hoxton Atmo, I love you, man. I love you're honest. Love these streams. Keep you up. They're a breath of fresh air. Thank you, Hoxton. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Caleb Sangvi, good evening. I really want to bring in Foden. The only way I can afford him is by selling Rafinha and taking a hit. Thoughts? Foden's in some really good form, buddy, but Rafinha's hit form as well. But my question to you, Caleb, is 2 things. Risk of rotation. So I mentioned it earlier in this stream with Man City players, is risk of rotation. Do you have cover on the bench? So let's just say Foden is rotated. Do you have solid cover? When I say solid, players who'll play. So someone like a Brownhill, for example, who I'm looking to get in, will get you 1 or 2 points. Basuma will get you 1 or 2 or 3 points if he gets a bonus per week guaranteed, but they're playing. But if you bring in someone like a 4.4, 4.3 midfielder who's not going to play a single minute, it's not that useful. So no harm in taking a hit for that, but just make sure that the player you bring in is someone who does get regular game time, because in the risk of rotation weeks, they will come useful, and Foden will get rotated at one point in the next couple of game weeks. But the guy's in insane form right now, and he's played well. He should have scored against Manchester United, hit the post, and he put some really good balls into the box for Jesus and Bernardo Silva, and even Kevin De Bruyne, which weren't taken advantage of. So Foden is definitely someone to consider. I will back that move 100%. I would get him in if I could afford him, but I'm too defensive, and plus I've got too many Man City players anyway. I can get him in if I take out Edison, but I don't intend to, because I think Edison will probably score more points or just as much points at the end of the season as him due to rotation and stuff. But do get him in, but have a solid replacement for him as well. Around that price, just a suggestion, by the way, just a suggestion from me, Caleb. Why not Jota? Bit cheaper. 0.3, 0.4, cheaper slightly. Firmino's injured. He'll play more games as well, right now. So just a bit of a thought process in your direction. Think of Jota as well. He didn't have a bad game today, by the way. He was all right. Played well. Genius Gamer, nice work. Thank you so much, Genius Gamer. Hoxton, the people who win FPL don't follow FPL Twitter. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Ottawa, yeah, no one can watch all 10 Premier League games every week and still have a life. Honestly, you can't, man. You can't. Tabo, I have Kane and Son. I don't know if I should sell one. Thing is, buddy, if you get rid of one now, do you have any transfers available? Personally, I don't think you need to have both at the moment. You can get rid of Kane. Free up some funds. Boost your team elsewhere. I'd keep Son. Out of the 2, if I could buy one of them now, I'd buy Son. Even though Kane's on penalties. Ottawa, sharing information is the way to go. 100%. That's what a family's all about. We like to share information, and I like to take information with you guys because you guys have much more wisdom than I do, and you guys think more ahead than I do sometimes. So I generally believe you guys are the ones to help me. John K, you're right about playing your own game. James and Chilwell are becoming essential at this point. They are, honestly, John. Chilwell as well. Unreal. 4 goals in 4 games. Mad. Turkish Mo, honestly, you should have seen the Leeds-Leicester game. It was such an intense game. Did you see Barnes' goal? I haven't seen it. I've recorded it. It's on Sky Record. But I haven't watched it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Because I remember, I was watching the Cricket World Cup today, by the way, in the early afternoon, before the Liverpool game. And my phone went, I got an alert, Rafinha goal. Nice. And literally about a minute later, within a minute, another alert, Leicester goal. I was like, nice, please be Vardy. Then it was like, oh, no. But honestly, I can tell it was an intense game. There's a goal ruled off for offside as well in the second half, if I'm not wrong. Vardy was the assister. I was hurt by that, reading that. Turkish, the thing with Bowen is I'm interested. In the last 7 game weeks, he's had a return more every week, and he's got easy fixtures coming. Yes, they do. Turkish, definitely. West Ham fixtures do look quite, exciting from an FPL perspective. And I think too much is being made of Spurs. There are other teams who have decent fixtures. West Ham have them. And let me show you one more thing. So look at West Ham here. Let me show you on screen. This is the forward-thinking process, guys. So let's take game week 16 into account after the Chelsea game, okay? So I know there's a Man City game and Chelsea game in game week 15, okay, for West Ham. Let's take the game week 16 into account. Burnley. Arsenal, tough game. And then all the way to game week 23 where they have Manchester United, Norwich, Southampton, Watford, Crystal Palace, Leeds. Really good games for West Ham. However, if Calvert-Lewin returns on the 28th of November as expected, that is game week 13. Let's take it all the way to game week 16. Start with Crystal Palace. They got Chelsea, which is a difficult game. And then we went all the way up to game week 23, right? They then have Leicester, Burnley, Newcastle, Brighton, Norwich, Aston Villa. So technically, there's going to be 2 strikers you can look at that point and think, I fancy a bit of that. I might even go Calvert-Lewin because he's on penalties. And there might be a risk of rotation for Antonio during that period because there's Europe games as well and FA Cup games as well. So Calvert-Lewin might get a bit more of a game time. But again, it's all fixture related. Just thought I'd give you a bit of insight to forward thinking where I'm looking at the moment. Alright guys, please hit the like button and the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to FPL KNEEJERK. I'm just going to take a sip of water. Throat's gone a bit dry. Hoxton, I'm not sure about Conte though. Got to wait and see. Honestly, he's very keen on spending money, so let's see January. Will he get 200 mil? Nilesh, like you said earlier, Mo, I had Aubameyang in attack and he's just got 8 goals from hitting the top 100 for Arsenal in the English Premier League. It was exciting to watch the Arsenal game. I heard the Arsenal game was quite good, by the way. And the penalty save got Foster 8 points, right? Ishan, good evening. Still have wild card. Is it time to use it? It depends how you feel. What's your thought process? It's very useful to think that if you're looking to make more than 4 transfers or more, do it. If you're looking to bring in Kane, Son, any other big hitters you're looking at, if you want to rip up your team completely, I think it's a good time to play it. International break's a good time. Hoxton says West Ham, Bowen definitely. Nice. Assad, Duffy, keep or sell. Keep Duffy. Duffy's done well, to be fair. Just been a bad couple of weeks, but Duffy's good for his price. Ottawa, I agree. Hold off with the West Ham players for another 4 weeks. 100%. Bibek. Hey, buddy. Good evening. I hope you're well. I hope you've done well this weekend and you're safe and happy. Hoxton, what's happened to Antonio? He played well today. Just didn't get the chances, to be fair. But otherwise, he played pretty well. Let me have a quick look at Bowen. See how he's done. West Ham, though, 3rd in the league. Who would have thought that? Wow, yeah, so they're doing well, not bad at all. Ishan, Ronaldo captaincy shout for Watford. I mean, Ollie tends to usually get a reaction out of his players. But I'll still go Salah, buddy. Still go Salah. Salah, without playing well, got 10 points. With an assist. But Ronaldo, if you want to go differential, not a bad shout. Watford haven't been that great, to be fair. Ottawa, Antonio played a bit like a target man today, setting up counters for Fornals. He did. Literally, forward ball, against Van Dijk, header it down, physical presence, job done. Now that's what led to the 3rd goal, which Zuma scored, Kurt Zuma. Nilesh Bibek is back. He is indeed. Hoxton, is there any good forwards in the home anymore? They're all challenging. They're all challenging. UK, are Chelsea defenders such as Reece James still a good option considering the fixtures are getting slightly harder? Of course. The thing is, despite conceding a goal yesterday, he's still got bonus points, 3 bonus points, putting loads of crosses. I think the clean sheets will still continue again, but he's a good shot. Good shout. Vivek says, good night, buddy. Good night, Vivek. But yeah, otherwise, Chelsea do look like a real good option. Anyone thinking about any plans for their transfers already? Or is it You guys are going to wait to the end of the international break. I really do want to know when Brazil games are, but I don't want to know so early because if they are later, then I'm going to be upset for 2 weeks. Cool, 8 o'clock. Right, guys, it's been an hour on this stream. I think we'll call it a night. The knee-jerk reaction's done. We'll be back with some more live Q&A during the international period, so we'll do some streams. So I'll put it out a bit earlier when we'll do those. But I hope you guys do have a good couple of days, good couple of weeks during the international break. I will do some more live streams. We'll do some we'll do some content as well. And I just want to say best luck everyone. Thank you so much for you guys coming on. I've got a few more questions coming in. Mustafa says, is Son a must-have for now? I would say he's not a must-have, but if you want to bring him in, entirely your choice. I think he's a must-have personally. Ishan, thoughts on Edouard? I think he's a great player. Personally, I want to get him just yet. But if you fancy him, then back him. Mustafa, what do you think about Jota? Bring him in. If you're looking to getting him in. Firmino's injured, good shout. Turkish says, in a few moments he's going to drop Tony for a cheaper striker. Get Mane instead of Mount. Nice. Hoxton, see you, mate. Good stream. Have a good day. Thank you, Turkish. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Hoxton. Thank you, everyone on the stream. I hope you guys have a great evening. You guys stay safe. I love you guys as a family. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, give us a subscribe. Tell your friends and family about us. Come and tell them, promote them to get them to join. Let's get up to the 1K mark and let's grow this family. Till then, I want you guys to take care. Any questions, let me know. And we'll do some more like Q&A this week.